All right, good morning. Thank you everyone for joining me this morning, Sunday, May 28th. Unbelievable, already almost June. Thank you again so much. Been a little while since we've been on here last time, but hopefully everyone can hear me. I see 17 thumbs up there, so thank you so much, guys. I appreciate the support. So let me know in chat. Say hi, as always. I'm pretty sure we're live here right now. I was just working through a couple things. What am I, 6 minutes late? I was just working through a couple things here on my end, but we should be good to go. So hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. I wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about some healthy foods that I would never eat. And these are the types of foods that, you'll see videos on, sometimes are articles, foods added into like superfood lists and, foods if you're trying to lose weight. But foods that really, if we really break them down, just are not healthy for you for a number of different reasons. And which we'll get into. So please let me know if you can hear me. Thank you so much again. Thank you again for the thumbs up. Let me know if we are live right now. It always helps. King Osiris, good to see you in here. Perfect timing. Thank you so much for joining us. Joshua, thank you as always. Thanks, guys. Perfect thumbs up, Josh. Okay, well then let's continue. Let's keep going here. So like I said, I wanted to talk a little bit now, especially as we're getting into the warmer months. We're almost halfway through the year. This is the time where we really want to be focusing on, are we hitting our goals? Are we, let me just make sure we're live here. Okay, I think we're live. So like I said, we want to sort of be looking back. Yep, the bit rate's good. All right, sorry guys. So yeah, we want to be thinking, are we hitting our goals? Are we achieving what we want? Whether that's weight loss, whether that's overall health. At the end of the day, overall health is number one. If we're achieving overall health, then we're probably doing something to lose weight, improve our body composition, maybe gain a little bit of lean muscle, perhaps lose some body fat, things like that. Maybe if our goal was to walk 3 times a week, that might be something that you want to think about as well. But I think we really need to start hammering the diet, getting the diet down. And here's 5 foods that I always see recommended, but I would probably stay away from. Foods that I do not recommend that my clients eat, foods that are not in my diet. I can say that, one of them, we're going to start with dried fruit. If you listen to any of the streams, I am not a fan of dried fruit whatsoever. And I haven't had dried fruit in probably like an apricot or even raisins, things like that. Raisins are obviously very, very popular. But there's a reason why I haven't had that for probably 15 years. I was thinking about just before we started the stream, when was the last time, I had raisins or an apricot or even dates? And it'd probably be somewhere around 15 years. Now, you're probably asking me, Coach Nate, why can't I have, dried cranberries? Why not dried apricots? Anything like that. Well, here's the thing. Let me just make sure I don't miss it. Before we get into it, I don't want to miss your guys' comments. Can you advise a replacement for carbohydrates in potatoes? Apparently, potato ages your skin. I'm not up for that ever, King Osiris. A replacement for potatoes, for carbohydrates in potatoes. So if you're looking to replace the potatoes, you should be good to go with sweet potatoes, my friend. Sweet potatoes should not be aging your skin. They're actually quite healthy for your skin, and they have a ton of vitamin A, a ton of antioxidants, a ton of nutrition. So even vitamin C, tons of great things for our skin. So like a sweet potato would be tremendous for overall skin health. Vitamin A, just like we know, it's great for our eyes, but also great for our skin. So I hope that helps. So the first one is going to be dried fruit, guys. And like I said, and I know it's super popular. I know it's kind of the on-the-go sort of grab, like raisins or dried cranberries or even apricots. And I know it's in a lot of trail mix, and trail mix could be on this list as well, which if you keep listening, you might find it. But dried fruits You kind of nailed it there, Joshua. It's the same thing. We talked about it on stream. I've brought up the difference between eating an apricot, so just a regular apricot, and then having dried apricots, right? You're losing all of the nutrition and you are gaining a ton of sugar. All right, there is so much sugar in dried fruit. Like if we were just to look at, well, we don't need to look at it again, but I think it was in 250 grams, maybe 100 grams actually. It was like 60 grams of sugar in 100 grams of dried apricots, as opposed to, say, 6 or 7 with fiber and with all the nutrition in just a regular apricot. I am not a fan. I never eat and hardly ever recommend dried fruit to anyone. We have to remember, dried fruit, like I said, it's going to be kind of a go-to snack. It's a feel-good snack for a lot of individuals, but we have to remember when you're eating dried fruit, you are adding tons of sugar. You might as well be having a soda, pop, whatever you call it, where you're from. I've gotten comments before. People, I'll say pop, and they'll be like, do you mean soda? Do you mean, cola? Things like that. But, a Coke, a Pepsi, Sprite, whatever it is, you might as well be drinking a can of that. You could have 2 cans of that if you're having 100 grams. So no nutrition, tons of sugar, right? And the thing is, when you're buying them, unless you're making them on your own, and even if you are making them on your own, the drying process adds a ton of sugar into the raisin, into the apricot, whatever it is that you're making. But we know if you're buying them, they're also coating them with added sugar, right? So you're getting a double whammy, just so much sugar added to your diet. And we know when you're talking about sugar into your diet, there is 0 benefits, guys. 0 benefits to having sugar in. So coating it with sugar, because sometimes I wanted to bring that up because sometimes we'll be like, well, isn't it fructose? Isn't it good sugars? Well, no, not always, and definitely you don't need all of this sugar. It's still fructose. You're going to be increasing insulin, glucose. Not good for us, guys. The other thing is, I've seen in a lot of articles for commercially prepared dry fruits, like prunes, like raisins, even dried bananas. Those are like the other things too. They're super popular. They taste really good, but tons of sugar in it, guys. There's already a lot of fructose in bananas. You dry them out, you're going to be getting even more. We're also adding preservatives to these foods, guys. So if we're not just taking like an apricot, a naturally grown apricot, and eating that, and we're actually eating the dried fruits and you're buying them, you're also consuming a ton of preservatives, sulfites being one of them. Very unhealthy for our body. Which names of the best for no added sugar dried fruits? It's a great question, Joshua. As someone who hasn't had dried fruits for 15 years, I could not even tell you one brand name of dried fruit. Sunkist cranberries, maybe. That's probably the only one that I could tell you. Unfortunately, I don't know any brand names when it comes to dried fruits that have no added sugar. And look at it like this. Yes, it's the added sugar. Yes, we want to stay away from added sugar. But think of it also in terms of not only are you getting the added sugar, but there's already going to be tons of sugar even if you aren't adding it, right? Like we brought it up last time. 100 grams of apricots, right? 60 grams of sugar, maybe even more. Maybe I should bring it up. 100, I could do this quickly. 100 cranberries I did. Let's do cranberries. So 100 grams of cranberries calories, all right? All right, so look at this. So 100 grams of cranberries. Not hard for people to eat. It's 300 calories, all right? That's not a huge meal. It's like a snack. So it's hard. It's not even a meal. All right, so and this was the point that we were making before. Cranberries are one of my favorite berries, all right? Along with raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, you guys know if you listen to the stream. But in dried cranberries, 100 grams, that's it. That's not very much. All right, you're getting 300 calories, but 82 grams of carbohydrates and 65 grams of sugar. How much vitamin C? 0. How much iron? 2%. Vitamin B6? 0. Vitamin D? 0. Vitamin B3? 0. Magnesium? 1%. The list goes on and on. There's zero nutrition. If you were to take an actual cranberry and take a look at the nutrition, right, you would see those numbers much higher, and you would see the calories much lower, and obviously the sugar way, way lower. Way, way lower. And you'd be getting some good fiber in there as well. Especially like calorie, pound for pound, or calorie per calorie, the nutrition is just night and day. So you get 100 grams of dried cranberries, you're going to be getting probably somewhere around 30% of your daily amount of carbohydrates, maybe even 35%. If we're looking at those numbers, that's an incredible amount. And only 100 grams of cranberries, guys. So dried fruits, don't like them. Don't ever get my clients to eat them. I myself don't ever eat dried fruit. All right? I know it's very popular. It's a very quick and easy snack. I mean, boxed raisins, you give them to your kids. I grew up eating them. I know what the deal is. I know that it's easy. Right? But just know when you're eating those dried fruits, you're eating a ton of sugar, you're getting no nutrition, and you're also getting preservatives a lot of the times. Sulfites, things that we do not want entering our body. If anyone else is in chat, again, thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. If anyone else is in chat, just like Joshua, just like King Osiris, like I said, Osiris, great to see you back. Let me know where you're from, where you're listening from, and how your day is going, and let me know some of the foods that you don't have on your list. So your no-goes. Dried fruit would be one on mine. Okay, dried fruit is probably at the top of the list. And you always see raisins, apricots, dates, prune, all of these different things, right, at the top of superfoods and things like that. But when it comes to overall calories, the types of calories, and then the nutrition, right, we want to keep these foods away. So dried fruits, my first no-go, guys. Never eat them. I never eat them. All right, you guys are free to do what you want. I'm just giving the information. Fruits, which helps reducing sinus infections, I would imagine. Dark Spirit, YT, YouTube, Darker Spirit, sorry. Welcome to the chat, by the way. For sinus, like I said, I'm not speaking as a doctor. I'm speaking as a nutritionist. Lemon, yes, like Joshua said, and lemon. I think anything higher in vitamin C would not be a bad choice. Vitamin B a little bit as well, but vitamin C is going to be your main one. But if it's like sinus infections and things like that, or sinusitis, any of those types of things, you need to speak with your medical practitioner, Darker, because there could be something else that's going on there that fruits just aren't going to be able to, help, unfortunately. As much as a nutritionist and someone who works, with clients, helping them be their healthiest self, sometimes we have to admit, all right, there might be something going on where we need to ask our doctor, all right, and be checked. Yeah, or lime. Yeah, now Joshua's, exactly, Joshua. So now Joshua's adding all of the high vitamin C fruits. So lime, orange, grapefruit, all of them are high in vitamin C. So you want high vitamin C because you want those antioxidants, powerful antioxidants, polyphenols, all right, flavonoids, all of that good stuff in there, Darker. So I hope that helps answer your question. Now, the next one that's on my list, all right, is going to be vegetable oils. All right, vegetable oils are going to be next on the list, and there's a reason why. All right, so vegetable oils, think of it like this. All right, corn oil, soybean oil, those types of things, sunflower oil. All right, not a big fan of seed oils these days, vegetable oil or seed oil. Not a huge fan. A lot of people, I got a lot of my clients taking them out of their diet. Right, so any seed oil is just very unhealthy for the body. Grape seed oil, stay away from. The reason why is we have such, and you guys know, I'm so big on omega-3 fatty acids. They're very tough to get compared to omega-6s, omega-9s, all right? we need to get a better ratio of omega-6s to omega-3 fatty acids. All right. So, things like salmon, supplementing with a fish oil supplement, always really helpful. Even adding walnuts if you're a non-meat eater, meat eater, or if you don't like the supplement taste, you can add walnuts. At least you'll get a little bit of omega-3s. But fatty fish like sardines, salmon, all great. Mackerel, great. Tuna, not going to get very much in there, even though I see that on the list all the time. But when it comes to omega-6s and omega-3s, I saw an interesting study. We want that ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s, right, to be a lot closer than what a lot of people's usually is. And I saw in a study, most people have a 20-to-1. So they have a, 20 times amount of more omega-6s than omega-3s entering their body. And we really want to close that gap. A 5-to-1 would be nice. 3-to-1 if you can get there. Perfect. All right. And again, we want polyunsaturated fats. I'm not saying that we don't want that. But when you start adding all of these vegetable oils, seed oils, then we're really getting that ratio skewed. You're going to be getting the 20-to-1. And my pleasure, Darker. Thank you so much for coming in and asking your question. So you're going to be, having a huge ratio, especially in these modern day diets, all right? And it's way higher than our body needs of omega-6 fatty acids. Okay. Now, when you have that type of ratio, or you're getting that many omega-6s in your diets, right? So you're not getting EPA, not getting DHA, right? Which we want always in a good fish oil supplement. You want EPA and DHA. We've talked about that at length. But when we start having that, all right, we're putting ourselves at risk for major inflammation. You're increasing inflammation throughout the body. And what does inflammation do? Well, one, it wreaks havoc on all our organs, right? Every organ. It increases the risk of chronic diseases, all right? And it can actually, lead to dehydration, all right, at a certain point. But you're really putting yourself at inflammation, increased inflammation, acute or chronic, all right, if you're doing it for a long time. Again, many studies, I could pull out, I don't even know how many studies, but a lot of studies, guys, that show the correlation between inflammation and the increase of disease risk, chronic diseases, like we said. A good example would be like Alzheimer's, dementia. All right, another great example is heart disease, 100%. Inflammatory bowel disease, IBS. What are some other ones? Arthritis, so your joint health. All right, even eye health, liver, everything, guys. The list goes on and on. All right, so try to stay away as much as you can from vegetable oils, like your soybean oils, all right, things that are really high in omega fats, corn oil, sunflower oil, all right. They're very processed, these types of oils, prepackaged foods, obviously. Stick with your olive oil if you can. Let me make sure I'm not missing Darker Spirit. I see people putting canola oil over salad. Is it good? Canola oil, over your salad, I would go with olive oil, to be honest. Is it good? Is it bad? It really depends how much they're putting on. I mean, if you're telling me they're putting it all over, all right, they're probably going to be in excess. If they're putting a teaspoon to a tablespoon, then of course that's going to be a little bit different. Anything over a tablespoon, I think, would just be too much. All right, one, it's a lot of calories, it's a lot of fat, all right? But it can go a long way, depending what else you're putting on it. Say you're using some sort of like balsamic vinegar. 1 tablespoon of olive oil is more than enough. That's my go-to, olive oil. So that's always going to be a good one. If you're trying to improve the ratio with omega-6s to omega-3s, like I said, the average is 20-to-1. Putting flaxseed oil, maybe Darker, over salad. You might got to get used to the taste a little bit. All right, it does have a different taste. Let's be honest. Putting flaxseed oil. but just keeping it in moderation. All right. Flaxseed oil would be the one where you're getting more omega-3s. Okay. But the other things, instead of those vegetable oils and seed oil, especially like things like grapeseed oil, we really need to try to stay away from, guys. Increasing inflammation. I hate to use the word like poison for your body, but it's about as close to it as it can get. Okay, same thing with sugar, and that's why dried fruit was number one. All right, but cutting back on those vegetable oils, seed oils, getting good oils in like flaxseed oil, olive oil in moderation still, but getting those types of oils in. All right, you don't need a lot of it. Avocado oil would be a great one. Again, it has to be in moderation though, because you get a lot of omega-6s in avocado oil. They're very high in polyunsaturated fats. So we want to decrease inflammation. So dried fruit, that's my no-go. I haven't had anything other than olive oil in as long as I can remember, or avocado oil. I used to cook. I used to be canola oil, but now avocado oil. So those two right off the bat, I don't think I've had in probably, let's just safely say 10 years. Dried fruit for sure. I can't even remember the last time I had dried fruit. It has to be 15 years. Way before I started the channel, which was 10 years ago. So first would be dried fruits. Second would be vegetable or seed oils, guys. Seed oils, not a big fan of for many of the reasons why. All right. Again, our modern day diets are just getting in so much omega-6s, especially, and so little, and I think this is a bigger deal, so little omega-3s. Add that flaxseed, add that fatty fish like salmon, guys, mackerel, sardines if you like it, add a supplement if you need to, or add walnuts. All right, walnuts are one of the plant-based, one of the few plant-based sources of omega-3. Sorry, I missed your question here, King Osiris. Let me go back. Would you advise microgreens? Microgreens, would I advise? Well, when it comes to like microgreens or anything like that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think if you're getting, microgreens or anything like that, I'm thinking. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. When we're talking about like microgreens, are we talking about like herbs and vegetables, or just vegetables, or just herbs? I think if you're talking about both, or if you're talking about either one, you can't be going wrong. You're only going to be getting a ton of nutrition. Do you need a lot of microgreens? Absolutely not. Like I said, ton of nutrition, very nutrient dense. If you're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables already, if you're getting a good amount, do you need to have microgreens? You don't have to add it in there, but it can be a supplement. Maybe taking half of it would be fine as well. Now, thank you so much, guys, for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Like I said, if you're in the chat, let me know where you're listening from. Darker, thank you so much for your questions. I appreciate it. Great to see you in here. And then also, too, just a quick reminder, if you want to support the channel, like I said, give a thumbs up, leave your comment, always greatly appreciated. Or if you can, there's the super chat function, or even better, joining as a member, a Fit Team member, where you get a free PDF book written by myself, all right, based solely on diet, what foods, philosophy around diet, making your own diet, and creating a better, not only life, but improving your diet to improve your life. And it's a fairly substantial book. There's a lot of good information there. I think it's about 16 chapters. So a lot of people got it. I got good feedback on that. So if you can support the channel through the super chat function, greatly appreciated. Or even better, like I said, do that join function. That way, once you're a Fit Team member, you get the free ebook. A lot of good information on there with the philosophy of eating, and then also going in depth into the different types of foods that we want to be focusing on, and the types of foods we don't want to be focusing on. So thank you very much, guys, for that support. Always greatly appreciated. Now the other one here is going to be fruit juice or sports drinks. I get fruit juice asked all the time, whether they're making it on their own or buying it from the store. A lot of people like to start their day off with a glass of orange juice. I am not a big fan of that, guys. I will be honest. Not a huge fan of starting the day off with fruit juices. One, you're immediately spiking your insulin. You're immediately adding a ton of sugar into your diet and a lot of preservatives, especially if it's store-bought. Think of it like this. If you're drinking your calories and you didn't make it yourself, so if it wasn't like a smoothie that you made yourself, I probably would not recommend it to you. Why? Because there's just going to be not a lot of nutrition, all right, especially in fruit juice. I mean, you hear apple, you hear orange, you hear all of these juices. They sound great. I mean, apples in and of themselves, a ton of nutrition, great fiber, but you lose all of that when you add fruit juice, all right, or you have it, you consume it as a juice. All you're getting, all right, is calories and pretty much sugar. All right, there's little to no nutrition in it, and there's a lot of sugar. Right? And the reason why is they want to sell it. So they want to make it taste good, and we know sugar is addictive. So fruit juice or quote-unquote healthy sports drinks, all right? Healthy sports drinks, low-calorie sports drinks, not a big fan of, all right? Just like diet soda, that's a whole other rabbit hole we could go down. But I get asked all the time, what's the best fruit juice that I could have? Is there benefits to having fruit juice? Well, yes. I mean, to say that there's no benefits wouldn't be very honest, because let's say you have orange juice, right? You're going to get vitamin C in there. But, okay, that's one benefit. What are all the cons? So that's a pro. What are all the cons? All right, there's going to be a lot more cons than there are pros to having a glass of orange juice. So yeah, you might get some vitamin C, you might get some calcium. That's great. But you're also getting a ton of sugar, all of the good stuff that's being done with vitamin C, which is an antioxidant, a water-soluble antioxidant, is just going to be outdone by all of the sugar and the tons of preservatives that are in things like orange juice, apple juice, all of that different type of stuff. Plus, you get, when you have the whole fruit or a raw fruit, raw vegetable, let's say it's a raw fruit like an apple, you're getting amazing, or a banana, you're getting amazing fiber like pectin, which you just do not get in the fruit juice. I also prefer to eat raw fruits or vegetables rather putting it over mixer or grinder to get juice from it. Me as well, Darker. We're on the same page. I think if you're going to have, fruits, I think putting it in, making it as a smoothie, you're okay. But when you juice it, you're losing all of the fiber and things like that. You're losing a lot of the good stuff. Like when people juice lemons and they're not getting the pectin fiber, I always tell people, if you want lemon juice or lemon water, squeeze the lemon into the water. That way you're getting the fiber, you're getting the pulp. That's what we want. But I'm with you on there. I'm not a big fan of the grinder juicer. Sprouted sunflower seeds, and I eat wild edible microgreens in the woods. Nice. Mainly nettles and hedge garlic. So there you go. Yeah, a lot of herbs. That's nice, King Osiris. So herbs, absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Herbs have been popular for hundreds, if not thousands of years. All right, there's a lot of stuff going on so people could obtain herbs way back in the day. We're very fortunate now we can just go to the store or grow them ourselves very easily. But that sounds great. Nettle, awesome. And then hedge garlic, of course, awesome. You guys know I love garlic. Health is wealth. You're 100% right, King Osiris. Couldn't say it better myself. I wish I could pH orange juice to be neutral. Yeah, you know what? It's very, very tough. Orange juice, apple juice, yes, it tastes good. Yes, it's very easy. It's nice to start the morning like that, especially people who don't drink caffeine. So if they're not starting their day with, things like coffee, they'll go for the orange juice. But it's on my no-go, guys. And I don't think I've ever had a client where I was like, okay, add orange juice here. You might as well add soda. You might as well add pop. And I don't like that you can just drink the calories. You drink so many calories. If you're getting your calories from any types of liquid, all right, we already talked about all the fiber. You're losing the fiber. It's not going to fill you up whatsoever. All right, you're only going to be hungrier after that glass of orange juice in the morning. You just spiked your insulin and your glucose. It's going to burn off like crazy. It's going to burn like crazy, and then you're just going to be hungry literally probably 30 minutes. You crash within 30 minutes to an hour. It only takes 30 minutes for liquids to digest in the stomach, guys, as opposed to, let's say, proteins, 2 hours, fats, 3 hours. That's why I like protein and fat in the morning. But things like liquids, especially with simple carbohydrates like sugar in them, you're going to be burning that off very, very fast within 30 minutes. So it's very, very quick. Water is 30 minutes. So orange juice, I imagine, would be the exact same, if not faster. I'm learning a lot. Thank you so much. My pleasure, King Osiris. Thank you for that comment. I'm glad that you are, and I enjoy the back and forth. I love the engagement. So I appreciate you letting me know what exactly you're having, in just our conversation. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. How to make gut strongs for good digestion? That's a great question, Darker. I think, unless you have some sort of, IBS, inflammatory bowel disease, things of that nature, there's a lot of things that you can do for gut. One is you want to take out sugar. That's the first thing, all right? If you want to improve your digestion, sugar has to go out the window, all right? IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. Or irritable bowel syndrome, we might as well call it inflammatory bowel disease as well. Inflammatory bowel syndrome. All right, it's the same thing. You're getting a ton of inflammation. Sugar is increasing inflammation within the digestive system. If that's happening, all right, it cannot function optimally or properly. All right, it's just like any other organ. All right, for dealing with, we talked a little bit about the inflammation before. So cut out sugar. Increase your water intake gradually. You want to get somewhere in between 3 liters to 6 liters. For most people, that sounds like a ton of water. Most of my consultations that I did 2 this week. They were actually pretty good in water, but most of them that I do, it's like 0 water. It's either, I think maybe one was 0 and the other was like very, very good. But, and not that it's bad or anything. Like I said, it's non-judgmental, but sometimes it's literally a glass of coffee, and that's it. No water throughout the day. So if you want to improve your digestion, 1, take out sugar, increase water. All right, add that water in there. Try to get at least 3 liters if you can. Also, a probiotic supplement is fine. All right, other probiotic foods, great. Prebiotics, fermented foods, things like that. That's really going to help. So you're going to want your probiotics and prebiotics. And then the other thing I would say is make sure you're getting enough fiber. That's done through healthy eating. All right. That's why I'm telling you, don't have the fruit juice. Don't have the dried fruits. Don't have the vegetable oil. You're not getting any, or seed oils. You're not getting any fiber from any of that stuff, guys. So you need to increase fiber. If you have to take a supplement, go ahead and do that. Talk to your doctor first before you do. But that's how you make a good, strong digestive system. Also, we've seen vitamin K2, and that's why I said fermented foods, and vitamin D can help with digestion as well. Hope that helps answer your question, Darker. But that's how you do it, guys. Eat healthy. Get those antioxidants in there. Improve your overall digestive health. Digestive health is something that I've really looked a lot into. So ask your questions on digestive health. I know we're talking about foods I would never eat. So kind of out in left field right now, but it's all important for our overall health, guys. Proper digestion, all right, is imperative to overall health, because if you're not digesting, all right, or your nutrient uptake is very low and you're eating healthy foods, it's just not going to be, you're not getting the benefits from it. So we need good digestion. Gloria, great to see you. Thank you so much, Gloria. Sorry I missed your comment there. I was a little late getting to you. So Gloria, thank you so much. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Great to see you in chat. Caffeine is an anti-nutrient. Yeah, you know what? Caffeine, we could have a whole discussion on caffeine, couldn't we, King Osiris? Damon, great to see you in here. Nice and early, 8:10 a.m. for my friend in Southern California. Thank you so much, Damon. Great to have you in here, as always. Positive vibes to you as well. Juice 6 oranges for breakfast. Laugh aloud and slept all day. Probably not the best. Well, that's all right. We can't be perfect 100% of the time. It's what I always tell my clients. It's like they'll get so wrapped up in every, the mundane little things. Have one little thing here, one little slip up here. Can't be perfect all the time. There's worse things off than eating, maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 too many oranges, Osiris. So all good. You got your vitamin C in for the day, that's for sure. Really appreciate. Thanks a lot. No problem, Darker. My pleasure. Thank you for the question. I really like the digestion questions. So let's continue here, guys. Talking about smoothies. These are super popular. Green smoothies, like beet smoothies. You see them at Starbucks. You see them in their own aisle now at the grocery stores. These pre-made smoothies. Of course, companies jumped at the idea of, everyone knew green smoothies were super, super popular. Now people are starting to create their own. Not people, but companies. Maybe some people are starting companies, or at least getting behind supporting companies that have pre-made green smoothies, other smoothies in there. I never will have a pre-made smoothie or a pre-purchased smoothie or a smoothie that I grab off the shelf or I'm handing money over for. What's the reason for that? Well, take a look at the ingredients that are going to be in that smoothie. Let me just bring one up here. Let's bring one up. I don't want to say the company because I don't want to put them to blast any company. But let's bring one up here. So we have a green smoothie. Okay, here we go. Found a good one here. All right, let's see if we can find. Okay, here we go. Full nutrition and ingredients list. Not available. Okay, not available for this item. So interesting. So I just found like a really popular brand of green smoothies, and I clicked on the ingredients, and not available for this item. The nutrition not available. I wonder why that is. I'm sure if it was healthy, it might be up on there. Oh, let's see if we can find one. I really want to find one for you guys. Give me a second here, guys, because this is really gonna. Everyone always comes up from the same one that. All right, here we go. Comes up from the same store that I just searched myself. Oh, these are good. Okay. Green smoothie. If this doesn't work, I'll go to my go-to one. Ooh, they're expensive too. That's the other thing. These like pre-made smoothies are so expensive, guys. They are wildly expensive. They're probably 10 times more expensive than it would be to make on your own. Unbelievable. Wow. All right, where's the list? Nutrition facts. Okay. So see, none of these are giving the actual amount of calories. So here's the whole thing, guys. All right. Yes, okay, it has all the good ingredients, but it's giving you all the good ingredients. They're saying it's a low calorie green juice, and there's 540 calories in it. And 50. Okay, so here's an interesting one. So here's what you're going to find from your typical store-bought green juice, guys. And again, I'm not hating on any. That's why I'm not bringing it up. I'm not bringing up any type of which company it is or any of the companies. But the store-bought green juices that you're having, one that you can make at home, you can make a green smoothie, very, very healthy. Add some other things in there too where it actually tastes really, really good and not a ton of sugar. One, you could have for easily under 100 calories, maybe 100 to 150, but you're getting a ton of micronutrients and nutrition in that. Tons of fiber, tons of great things, right? Looking at some of the most popular green smoothies that I just saw from some of the most popular companies, All right, ones that you've probably all been to, that we've probably all been to this week. 540 calories, 550 calories to 600 calories, right? 40 to 50 grams of sugar in a green smoothie. That is just obviously way too much. That's more, and it's only a 500 milliliter bottle, so that's as much sugar as a pop. You might as well be drinking the pop. Now, people will tell me, well, Coach Nate, it's not added sugar. It's not sucralose. It's fructose. The body doesn't care. The body's going to react to it the exact same way, right? And there's no nutrition in it, right? The nutrition, all right, is going to be coming from the healthy foods, from your low-calorie, nutrient-dense foods, right? So your body does not care where those calories are coming from, right? If you're getting 50 grams of sugar and you're only having 500 milliliters of liquid, by the way, it's not a lot, right? That's a ton of sugar, right? Your body is going to, one, you're just going to be hungry after. Two, you just overpaid. You paid for that 500 milliliter, right, green smoothie. All right, I saw it was $14.99. The cheapest one was $8.99. You could have made that for 69 cents to 99 cents at home, maybe even cheaper. If you grew some of the stuff on your own, then a lot cheaper. But $14.99 is very, very absurd to me. Sorry, it just took me back a little bit. But that's how it goes, guys. That's how it goes. I mean, so think about that. Pre-made smoothies, it's the same for all of them. It doesn't just have to be a green smoothie. A lot of the times you'll have green smoothies that has pineapple and mango in it. So, is it even really a green smoothie at that point? I would say no. Just be careful with pre-made smoothies, guys. I get a lot of questions on smoothies. A lot of people consume smoothies, whether it be green smoothies or otherwise. You can have cranberry, you can have beet smoothies, which I really, really like. I actually did a live stream on here where it was actually me on live, so myself on video, making a beet smoothie. So, and you can do it for super cheap, and I think it was only 3 or 4 ingredients, and it tasted great. I think it was a grapefruit and beet smoothie. So, unbelievably healthy for you, very, very low calorie, very high in nutrition. You can go back and watch that live stream. It should be up, but very, very healthy for you. Just watch the grapefruit. Make sure it doesn't mess with any of your medications or anything like that, of course. But yeah, the pre-made green smoothies or pre-made smoothies, guys, I am not a fan of. Never drink them myself. I don't think I've ever bought a smoothie in my entire life. And just because I haven't bought it doesn't mean that it's not good. But I'm looking at the nutrition list. I'm looking at the amount of calories that are in it, and I'm looking at the type of calories that are in it. And from what I'm seeing, it's not going to be making me purchase that, and it's not going to be making me, one, recommend it to my clients or recommend it to you guys, my friends here on the channel. So stay away from those stay away from those smoothies if you can, guys. Sorry, Dame, it took me so long. I saw your question here. What's your take on the Naked brand? I've actually never heard of it. Well, give me a second. So Naked smoothie. Okay, that came right up. Naked greens smoothie. Why don't we take a look at that? Do they sell this at Starbucks? This looks very familiar. Let me see if I can find the nutrition. So, of course, yes, they're going to have, here's info. So, of course, they're going to have a lot of, things like spirulina, wheatgrass, probably barley grass. Yep, barley grass. I like the garlic. It's not a huge, the thing is, the amount of garlic, though, that's very, very low. But again, that doesn't matter. Let's just take it all as it is. So we're looking at the Naked brand of, and these are very, very popular. I actually have heard of these. I thought I hadn't, but seeing the label, have 100% have 100% seen these, and I think maybe they're sold at Starbucks. And again, I'm not trying to throw any company under the bus. It is what it is. They're probably sold at a lot of places, but it's a great question. So let's take a look at the green smoothies here from that brand. It's a boosted smoothie, and here again, all right. So just exactly what I was saying, and I don't like coming off as like so what I had said before was it's not just going to be a green. You're going to have things like mango and pineapple. And what do we have here? It's like 1/3 of a mango, 1/12 of a pineapple. It's funny that they put that in. But you're getting other fruits in there as well, too. So I'm going to guess that there's going to be a lot of sugar in this. All right. I don't want to always say, see, I told you so. But, this is what you're going to see. And this is why I stay away from them, because I've seen so many of these pre-packaged and pre-made smoothies before. You get a sense what's going to be in it. So you have half a banana as well, almost 3 apples, juices from all of these, a quarter of a kiwi. That's nice. No, 1/3 of a kiwi. That's nice. I really like that. I mean, they gotta make it taste good, right, guys? They have to make it taste good. And so-called at Ralph's supermarkets. There you go. Exactly, Damon. So at supermarkets, I'm sure it's everywhere. By the looks of it, looks like it's super popular. Okay, so one bottle, 280 calories. How many milliliters is that? So 15 fluid ounces. How much is that? 15 ounces in milliliters. It's probably like 3. So 443. Okay, so about 450. So let's say 450. So about the 500 like before. So it's a little lower in calories, but let's see what the calories are coming from, guys. Okay, perfect. So nutrition, I don't know, from my green smoothie, I would be hoping to get more than 10% of my daily amount of magnesium, more than 25% of my vitamin B6, definitely more than 50% of my vitamin C, or 25% of vitamin A. Half a banana, they told me, was in there. That's only 15%. No vitamin D. Yes, that's clear. It's very tough to get that in there. But take a look at this, guys. So exactly what I was saying before. There's 0 fiber in this prepackaged green smoothie, where if they have juices from 3/4 or from 3 apples, pretty much, you could get so much fiber from just eating those apples. I mean, you're literally missing out on almost half your daily value of fiber. I mean, I wouldn't recommend eating just 3 apples, but 1 apple is going to have, 5 to 6 grams of fiber. And it's really good fiber too, pectin fiber. And another one that I can't remember off the top of my head. It'll probably come to me. I think it starts with an A. But anyway, no fiber in any of this juice. And, people will tell me, well, yeah, it's a juice. Makes sense. And that's why I say once you juice it, you lose all the fiber. That's why we were talking a little bit about the juicer. And I'm not a huge fan. But 0 fiber and 53 grams of sugar. All right. All of its calories, except for 16 of them, because there's 4 grams of protein. All of the calories, 63 carbohydrates. Of those 63 carbohydrates, 53 are sugars. Wow, that's how it's going to be, guys. And that just sort of proves the point of why I'm not a fan of these, Damon. I'll be honest. A lot of people probably would be, because, green smoothie, it probably tastes good. You think you're doing the right thing because it's telling you you're getting all this, juice from all these nice tropical fruits. You got apples, you got, boosted with spirulina, kale, parsley, broccoli, alfalfa, wheatgrass, all of that stuff. So you think you're doing a great thing, but the nutrition is sort of low, to be honest, in a 500 milliliter amount. I mean, it's not a multivitamin. It's not like I'd expect 100, but it's still fairly low. Yeah. And a lot of it's from concentrate. Like puree, concentrate. All of that stuff, guys. I'm just not a fan. But then if you just look at the calories, that 63 grams, so just one bottle, 443 milliliters, you're not going to be full. You're not going to be full after this. You didn't get a ton of nutrition. You just got about a quarter of your daily amount of carbohydrates and enough sugar to last you a week. I love how it says includes 0 added sugars. But I hope that makes sense. And it kind of peels back the layers of why I'm not a fan of these pre-made smoothies. So my take is, if you didn't have anything else to purchase, maybe purchase that. But that sure is a lot of sugar, Damon. It sure is a lot of sugar. And people I know will tell me, it's fructose. It's different. It's coming from healthy fruits. Like I said, it's still going to be spiking your blood sugar. It's still going to be spiking your glucose and your insulin. And there's not that much nutrition in here. I mean, for the one that's labeled, imagine the ones that aren't labeled. How much nutrition? Probably very low, or else it'd be on there. A lot of it is coming from concentrate, so like water added. So yeah, not the biggest fan. And here's what it said. A little star. Well, props to them. Not a low calorie food. See full nutrition info for further information on sugar and calorie content. Well, props to you. Props to the company for saying that, because we just went through that whole thing and they just summed it up with that line right there. There's a reason why they're saying see full nutrition for further information on the total amount of calories and the total amount of sugar, because all of their calorie content is pretty much coming from sugar. So they put no sugar added, no preservatives, non-GMO. That all sounds great. But you're still getting a ton of sugar. 53 grams. My gosh, that's a ton of sugar. It's almost two sodas. So I hope that makes sense, Damon. I'm not trying to be a hater or anything like that. But the facts are the facts. Not a ton of nutrition. Very high calories. You're not going to be full. You're getting tons of sugar, basically 2 cans of pop in it. Just not a fan of the pre-made smoothies. I know it was already on my list, but I kind of went into it with an open mind. But you take a look at the label, and it's just not something I'm ever going to recommend to any clients, or I would recommend to you guys. To do so would be a disservice to yourselves and to my clients. All right, guys, I hope that makes sense. So we got our 4. We got dried fruit, fruit juice, or sports drinks. All right, low calorie, so in cold sports drinks, you could add Red Bull in there as well. We also have pre-made smoothies, which we just talked about. And then a little bit earlier, we talked about vegetable oil and seed oils. Not a fan. The other one is going to be granola or trail mix, guys. And I know trail mix is super, super popular, but especially if you're buying it, there's going to be a lot of added sugar. They're going to be throwing things in. Like, I've seen some trail mixes where there's going to be cranberries. You're going to get that in your standard trail mix. All right, but I've seen sometimes there's things like M&Ms or chocolate or dark chocolate and things like that. So clearly we don't want that type of stuff in there. But it's also very, very high calorie. Very, very high calorie. So things like trail mix, again, because you're getting things like even coconut in it, like like banana chips, like apricots, cranberries, all of those different things. It's really low on my list of foods that I have, and I'll say I can't remember the last time I had trail mix or granola for that matter. And a lot of trail mixes, their main ingredient is going to be granola. Now, why am I not a fan of granola? And a lot of times people will think of that as a very, very healthy food. It's gotten like a health food, connotation to it. They're kind of correlated or at least, joined at the hip. But the thing is, if you're buying, most people these days are not making their own granola. You're getting it at a supermarket. All right. So what's being added to the granola? vegetable oil, which is on this list, white sugar, which is basically on this list, with the fruit juice, pre-made sugars, and dried fruit. So you're getting vegetable oil in it, you're getting white sugar in it, you're getting very high calories, because they're also adding things like butter, which in moderation is just fine. All right, butter would not be on my list. I eat butter quite often. I would much rather the butter than a low fat option. I would much prefer the high fat natural butter, just in moderation, but they're adding that to it as well. So sometimes you're getting as much as an extra, in just a half a cup, as much as 10 to 15 grams of extra sugar added on, just because they're adding white sugar to it, or a fructose to it, corn syrup. All right, it could be honey, corn syrup, molasses. They're adding all that into these trail mixes. All right, I've seen a ton of trail mixes over the years, and it's the same thing. Again, they want you to purchase it. No worries. I would drink one of them instead of eating fast food. You got it, Damon. Exactly. You got to pick your battles. I always say it's one thing or the other, and if you have to make one choice, you make the smart choice, which you are doing. Eat that over fast food. Lower calories, 100%. I mean, if you compare it to the fast foods, you're only getting 270. And even if it is, yes, high in sugar, you're getting the sugar in the fast food anyways. Plus, you're getting all the nutrition in that green smoothie. So again, pick your battles. All right, pick your battles. Cut out, take the one that's going to give you the most benefit and optimize your health. 5 bananas. Oh, it's funny. Well, I used to have a reputation where I was not always a huge fan of bananas, King Osiris, because people were eating like 3 or 4 of them, and they were just always telling me that they're hungry. They would have banana and they would still feel hungry. It's because a lot of it is going to get burnt up really, really fast. It's going to spike your insulin, again, like we've talked about throughout the stream. And, you do have fiber from it, but it's very fast digesting. Fresh single cream. Hey, at least you're going to slow down the absorption rate with the fresh cream. But yeah, 5 might be a little bit overboard. And the other thing when it comes to bananas is, like, clients that I would have like 3. And so it's like, okay, though, that's fine. You're having something that's healthy, but you're only getting 1 macronutrient from a banana. You're not getting any protein. You're not getting any fat. You're just consuming carbohydrates every single time. So how are you going to make up the protein? Because I would want them to get some sort of protein. And where's your healthy fat going to be coming from? We need to make sure we have healthy fats in there. Now, the other thing when it comes to trail mix, right, a lot of times, like I said, and granola, very high in calories, guys. Very high in calories. Because, one, you have the granola, you have all the added sugar, maybe honey, maybe coconut chips, which are going to be, usually coated in sugar. M&Ms sometimes in there, but even the nuts and seeds, when people are eating them, obviously nuts and seeds are great. I already recommended walnuts, almonds, things like that. Nuts and seeds are tremendous for your health. I talked about flaxseed oil and how I would add that to salads. You're getting great healthy fats in there. The only thing is the portion sizes are just way too high when it comes with trail mix. So you got a good thing going on there with nuts and seeds, but it turns into a bad thing because we're just overdoing it on the calories. And it's really, really easy to do, especially as a trail mix. If you're able to kind of portion off, like let's say 10 to 15 almonds, way easier to do that. You're not going to do that in a trail mix recipe. You're just going to grab and eat, or just put it on a plate and eat what's there. And a lot of the times, like I said, that granola in there, you're only going to be, it's not going to have a ton of fiber. You're going to be very, very hungry after, and it's not as high in nutrition as most people think that it is. Yes, the nuts and seeds are very, very high in nutrition, but you're getting that nutrition at the cost of getting a ton of added sugar in there. And then that's not even talking about the cranberries. We already talked about dried cranberries on here. 100 grams of dried cranberries, guys. What did we say? It was 63 grams of sugar. maybe 80. I can't remember. It might have been 80 grams of carbs and 65 grams of sugar. That's not a ton of cranberries, guys, and that's added to a lot of trail mixes. It's either cranberries or raisins or both of them, and if you're having both of them, just think of the amount of sugar that you're adding into your diet through those cranberries. And through those cranberries and raisins. So trail mix, not one of my most favorite, especially like granola and things like that. A lot of times people will add granola to yogurt. I always tell people, try to find, a recipe where you can, just maybe a sprinkle of granola in there, and then maybe try to find something where you can kind of take that out, because, a lot of people, and you can leave it in the comments. It wouldn't be the first time I hear it, but, most people, when they do hear that, are quite surprised, because granola is one of those things. They equate it to oatmeal a lot of the times. It'd be like, oh, well, I didn't have my oatmeal today, but I had my granola, where it's just not the same thing, unfortunately. Unfortunately, both are just aren't the same. Sorry, hopefully you didn't lose me there. For some reason I got an ad that popped up, but I hope you guys get the point there. So that's the list, guys. Dried fruit, fruit juice, pre-made smoothies. Not a big fan. We went through that. Granola trail mix, all right, especially all commercial bought. Make your own. If you want to see a good recipe, look at the second video ever put on this channel. All right, it was a trail mix recipe. And then vegetable/seed oils. Not a fan of. Those are my 5 healthy foods that I would never eat, and I never eat these. All right, the ones that I'm literally mentioning to you guys, I can't remember the last time I had these in my diet. 15 years ago. Way before the channel. Millet groats any good? I like them into any foods. Well, millet groats. Groats is throwing me off a little bit. Is it like just grits? Let me look it up. Millet is 100% fine. So yeah, millet, things like millet and that type of stuff will get a bad rap because carbohydrates, this, that. Again, don't overdo it. Also, like with gluten and stuff like that, people, but millet is very, very good. I mean, here's what millet and things like that, barley, things like that, you're going to get good protein, tons of nutrition, great fiber. If we take all that then and we keep building off that, great for preventing diabetes, type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, good for heart health, good for your gut. We already talked about fiber and how that's good for your gut. It's going to act as a prebiotic for that. Anti-inflammatory if you got all those nutrients in there. So don't think anything is wrong with millet at all. My go-to is Aldi's sea salt pistachios. I'm a fan of pistachios, I have to say, Damon. I'm not sure if there's a ton of salt added to it. Sea salt, that sounds great. I think if you're eating both of those, the millet and the pistachios, in moderation, don't see anything wrong with that. I don't know the specific brand, and if preservatives are added to it, is what it is. Let's just take a look at what the food is. It's a pistachio. Pistachio is great. The hard thing about pistachios it's hard to eat just 10 or 15 of them. So just keep them in a little bit in moderation. But pistachios are very healthy. Lots of nutrition, good for your heart as well, anti-inflammatory, good for digestion. It's going to add bulk. Pistachios are great. Pistachios are up there. Would I rank them with almonds and walnuts? Maybe not, but I would definitely rank them up there for nuts and seeds. They're very, very good. They're just also very, very delicious, so it's hard to eat them in moderation. But guys, I think we're going to end the stream there. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of the questions. I appreciate all of the feedback. Big shout out to King Osiris, Joshua. Big shout out. Darker, great to have you in here. Thank you, Darker Spirit YT. Gloria, thank you so much. Damon, big shout out to you. Appreciate having you guys in here. Again, thank you so much for the views. Thank you so much for viewing. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. I appreciate all the Fit Team members. Big shout out to all of you guys out there, the Fit Team members here. Like I said, all Fit Team members are getting that ebook. So if you want to join and support the channel, that's great. Also, thank you to all super chatters through the super chat function on the live streams. I appreciate you all. Everyone who's in here right now, thank you so much. Gloria, my pleasure. Thank you so much, Gloria, for coming into the chat today and hanging out with us. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Some of the healthier foods that are out there that are sort of being branded or, commercialized as healthy foods that I would never eat personally, and I don't really get my clients to eat. I hope that makes a little bit more sense of why I don't have them, and why you might want to think twice about having them, or at least if you do have them, keep them in moderation and always choose wisely with your other foods in your diet. All right, we're not just eating one thing. So if you let's say if you had 20 grams of dried fruit, okay, we had 20 grams of dried fruit. What's the rest of my diet going to look like for the day? And by diet, I don't mean you're dieting down to lose weight. I just mean the foods that are in your overall daily eating. So think about that, guys. So thank you so much. Thank you, Gloria. Damon, appreciate you. Thank you, strong. Thank you very much. Stay strong as well. Guys, we'll be back next time. We'll have another interesting topic. I'll make sure I give the notification well in time, well in advance. Thank you so much to everyone for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. We've been going at it for almost 10 years now. Very hard to believe. But I'm glad you guys were able to join me on a Sunday morning. So keep doing what you're doing. Let's keep trying to make this 2023 a healthy, exciting, sort of goal-oriented year. I think if we're focusing on our goal, which is health, I think if we keep focusing on it, we're only going to go up and up and get better and better from there. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you all. Like I said, I'll leave a notification for our next stream, which is probably going to be next week. So I will talk to you at the latest next Sunday, guys. So take care. Thank you very much, and big shout out to everyone. Talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.